Chapter 3, Second Opinion. The first was on a Sunday afternoon when Alice called to say she wasn't entirely sure, but she thought she might not be feeling very well. She thought, in fact, that she might be having a pretty serious medical problem, and that Brian, and how would we put this tactfully, with his sunny habit of mind, maybe wasn't the best person to help with the assessment. So Alice asked if I could maybe drop by, which really alarmed me because this was completely out of character. So I drove right over there to find her upstairs, and as white against her white bleached sheet as a person can be who still has a heartbeat. But the two of them were both cheerful, upbeat, and there's Brian in the armchair, sitting forward attentively, obviously waiting instructions. So the three of us pretty quickly figured out that she was in grave condition and that she needed to get to Sibley. And as we began to discuss the where and the how and the what of this, Alice popped up and decided to get proactive. And so she wanted to go get dressed so we could drive there, but she took 2 steps and she fainted dead away. Now, for Alice to faint was so entirely out of character that Brian was simply stunned and frozen. So I said to him, "Brian, go dial 911," as I got busy turning her over and clearing her airwaves and making certain that Alice was breathing, which she was. She was also pretty amazingly talking, and so began one of the more beautiful Alice and Brian moments that I've ever been privileged to witness. "Don't call 911, Alice says. That gets you the DC ambulance. Be quiet," I said to her. "Don't talk. You're not supposed to be talking because you aren't even technically conscious." "No, really," she says. "Brian, go on down the phone, down the hall, and read the number for the Bethesda Chevy Chase on the sticker on the side of the landline in my office. Call Chevy Chase. They'll get here quicker." And so Brian says, "Only the best 911, as he wanders down the hall. And then he adds, which is why we call her La Principessa. And so he's off in the other room where I hear him having what seems to be a pretty enjoyable conversation with the operator who's just asked him, "What's your emergency?" And I hear Brian say, "Well, about 6 or 7 weeks ago, my wife," and I yell, "Brian, your wife is bleeding to death. Bring me the goddamn phone."